above the city of Laredo, Texas, epicenter of the Biden-Harris border crisis.
But no, they don't stop them. So the people get lost into our country and they never get heard from again.
There's the border crisis, you know.
Along the Rio Grande, you can see border patrols coming to us.
Kamala's staging ground to import her army of migrant gangs and illegal alien criminals into every state.
America's immigration system has been broken for a long time.
And it's only getting worse.
Any migrants could be underneath the brush.
Just here through Port Laredo, you're getting $300 billion a year in trade coming into the United States.
Millions of dollars are lost. I'm standing in front of the World Trade Bridge here in Laredo, Texas, where 40% of all land-bound trade comes in and out of in the U.S. Of the 102 lanes for commercial trade along the southern border, the majority are here in the Laredo sector of Texas. We're here learning from Border Patrol how they're optimizing the system. For every minute of backup, whether due to traffic or system malfunctioning, millions of dollars are lost. And considering that Customs and Border Patrol is the second greatest generator of federal revenue after the IRS, those losses tend to add up. We're learning how they're trying to both modernize the system using radio frequency technology and also crack down on smuggling of international narcotics, corporate trade, and IP theft.
From the time a truck rolls up to the U.S. Customs checkpoint from the Mexican half of the World Trade Bridge until it continues on into the 100-degree sun of South Texas, only 27 seconds pass. Meanwhile, others can languish for hours to be screened by federal agents. However, lanes for free and secure trade for commercial vehicles with a FAST program act as sort of a TSA pre-check for the most frequent travelers of the 20,000 trucks driving the World Trade Bridge daily. Considering the bridge itself transports more value in trade than any other land port in the country, and Port Laredo is responsible for nearly half of all of our trade with Mexico, every second counts.
Daniel Covarrubias, for a long time, Canada was the U.S.'s top trade partner, and then China, and now, as of last year, it's finally Mexico. And Texas actually has a trade surplus with Mexico. And I think especially in the protectionist argument and the debate about our relationship with Mexico, that element is lost. The fact that the state of Texas does send out more exports than it does import.
It does, and like you said, it's the second time in the history that Mexico has been the top trading partner with the United States. But more importantly, it's the first time in history that Mexico has been the top importer to the United States and surpassing China. So I think that's the biggest point in this resurgence of Mexico, or drop in China's trade with the United States. So yes, Mexico, there's a lot of trade that goes through Texas and Mexico, particularly where we are at Port Laredo, right? 40% of trade between Mexico and the United States crosses through Laredo, Texas, right? And you got the opportunity to see the World Trade Bridge, to see what 16,000 trucks a day look like, 20,000 if you take both bridges that are in Laredo, Texas, World Trade Bridge and Columbia Bridge. So yes, I mean, it's a booming industry. A lot of car manufacturing, auto parts, electronics cross through the Port of Laredo. And it's the essence of this region of South Texas, and Texas has been booming.
And you coin in your book the term logistics. Can you describe that to me?
Well, it's a term that basically it's a play on words between logistics and technology, and it's what I use to be able to research the impact that exponential technologies are having on logistics, cross-border trade, supply chain processes, right? So basically, it's a three-step methodology that you analyze how technologies are creating greater efficiencies on the transportation side of trade, how they're creating cost reductions on the handling side of trade, and ultimately something that's very important for this region in which we're in this Port Laredo, how they create faster delivery of goods through the customs clearance process, right? So it's something that we saw today at the World Trade Bridge. Technologies such as these non-intrusive inspection points that are giving greater security to the trade process, but at the same time they're creating greater efficiencies and making sure that trade is safe, secure, and fast.
And as we see, when you're transporting 20 1,000 trucks in one day. If you can shave off 5 seconds per time of screening, that's exponential in value over time.
It is.
Right now, the X-ray inspection is all done with the human eye. It will take an average of 1 minute and 16 seconds from the moment a scan is made till it's seen by U.S. Customs and Border Protection. AI is in its infancy stages, but like anything, an algorithm must be developed. CBP told us it could be 5 to 10 years before any kind of AI could be implemented in the X-ray scanning and inspection process.
U.S. Customs showed us today the early models of this non-invasive inspection technology where there's a stronger radio frequency form of measuring the front of a truck and then a higher level of radio frequency measuring for the back of the truck. And right now, it's only screening 20% of commercial vehicles on that Laredo bridge, but they're trying to get it up to 90% by October. Who exactly is paying for that?
Well, talking about logistics, that's a great example of it, right? That's a technology that's being implemented to create greater efficiencies, to create safer trade, and to facilitate the trade process, right? So who's paying for them? It's the federal government. I mean, CBP is under the Department of Homeland Security. It's the federal government funding these inspection points. And it's just like they're going to be funding other technologies because the goal is to make trade facilitation faster, more secure.
Don't click away. This was only the first part of the Washington Examiner's exclusive story on the Laredo economic border crisis. Be sure to click here to watch the full documentary and read my piece exclusively in the Washington Examiner digital magazine. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video so you can receive more content just like this.